Welcome to this week's Race Room. Coming up on today's show, we've got all the latest from Aragon, where MotoGP was at the weekend, and I've got all the best tweets from last week. Right, so MotoGP at the weekend, it was out in Aragon, a home race for loads of the riders. You've got likes of Jorge Lorenzo, Marc Márquez, Dani Pedrosa, all looking to win in front of the home crowd. And we all thought that this guy, Marc Márquez, the current world champion, would win. He set pole position, but then this guy came along, Jorge Lorenzo, leading the race and actually finishing first. Yes, look away now if you didn't know the result, a bit late. Here he is crossing the line, first place for Jorge Lorenzo, his first win of the season. He hasn't been on the top step of the podium in 2014, so a huge relief for him because Valentino Rossi won the last race out in Misano. So it was Jorge Lorenzo's turn, and some people saying that perhaps he only won because Marc Márquez crashed. There was a lot of tricky conditions to deal with for the riders. They had to come in, change their bikes because of the conditions, but Marc Márquez and Dani Pedrosa, the Repsol Honda guys, stayed out on the slicks, and that meant they crashed. Now you can see here on his knee sliders, on his boots, on his bum, poor Marc Márquez coming off. So he didn't do very well. He finished 13th and Dani Pedrosa finishing 14th. Not great for his championship standings, but of course he's way out ahead. But Jorge Lorenzo picking up some vital points for him. And Marc Márquez, 292 points now, 75 ahead of the nearest rival, which is his teammate Dani Pedrosa. But what do you think? Was it Marc Márquez's crash that allowed Jorge Lorenzo to win the race? And do you think Marc Márquez has got what it takes to win the championship again? Still a long way ahead, but there are still a few more races to go where Jorge Lorenzo and Valentino Rossi could challenge those Repsol Honda boys. Comment below, tell me what you think. Time for tweets of the week, and we've got this first one from Grand Prix Diary, and he's talking about Adrian Sutil, who has told me himself that he loves to play a little bit of the piano, but this is, well, quite honestly frightening. I'm almost lost for words, suggesting that this is what Adrian Sutil likes to do with his time. Maybe he'd be better off playing this little bicycle with a piano on the back instead of going about in the Sauber. Ooh, a little bit controversial. What do you think? Should they really have points by now? I think so. Anyway, enough said on that. Next tweet from WTF1. If you believe the rumours, this is what Alonso will be driving next year. Yes, so many rumours. No one knows where he's going. Will he stay at Ferrari? Probably. Will he move to Red Bull, McLaren? We've got even a Lotus rear wing there. So many options for Fernando Alonso, and I reckon McLaren would love him back, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Jenson Button, I think, should be a little bit nervous at the moment. And our final tweet, again from Grand Prix Diary, talking about the investigation at Mercedes, focusing on an individual good at spraying foreign substances, which, now, do we have a culprit? Lewis Hamilton. This huge thing about Nico Rosberg's car at Singapore. It turns out there was contamination, some substance that got into the workings of the Mercedes and stopped Nico Rosberg being able to work the clutch and change the engine settings. So yeah, so they're trying to find out where that went wrong. Contamination of the Mercedes car. Not great, but that's your tweets of the week. So coming up this weekend, Pole Position is looking forward to some F1 action out in Japan. The F1 circus heads to Suzuka this weekend, and Lewis Hamilton leading the championship 3 points ahead of his teammate Nico Rosberg after that very controversial Singapore race when Nico Rosberg had to retire. What do you think? Will it be Lewis Hamilton on the top step of the podium this weekend, or will it be Nico Rosberg? You never can guess. The luck will swing one way or the other. Lewis Hamilton looking very confident though, and he's never won at Suzuka. He's won in Fuji back in 2007, but he'll be wanting to tick that off his bucket list. It's an awesome circuit. So many championships have been decided there with those high-speed corners, but the likes of McLaren are going to struggle. Jenson Button said it himself. Not great when, of course, Honda are coming on board next year and they own the circuit at Suzuka. So it's not going to be great from the likes of McLaren. They're still battling with Ferrari and all the teams a little bit more in the middle of the grid. But of course, all eyes on those Mercedes boys. Will it be Nico? Will it be Lewis? Which team are you on? Why not comment below, Team LH or Team NR? I'll be back with more Race Room next week.
Ferrari, the cars that make Formula One sing.